Hello there, I'm Rylan, and in this video I'm going to explain to you what is the blockchain. This is a video series that I'm doing. If you want to learn more about crypto, I'll have a playlist with all the what is stuff. So the blockchain is a ledger that records transactions block by block. The blocks can hold a certain amount of data to hold those transactions, and each block needs to be validated so it can be put on the blockchain. But every crypto can run differently. Some can record like 2 megabytes of data within a block, some can record much more than that. Some run off of proof of stake, some run off of proof of work. I'll have videos explaining what they are if you're interested in that. I'll have that coming shortly.
Here I have 4 blocks connected to each other, and each block is allocated some space for their transactions. Sometimes it's just a handful of megabytes, sometimes it's more than that, but for this time we'll say 2 megabytes. That's the amount allocated per block so it can store a transaction on it. Now the blockchain also has these things called nodes, and I'll make little squares here for representation. And these nodes record the blockchain. These are keeping track of the blockchain as well, these little nodes. They're recording it as it's being built upon. When a miner goes out to build upon the blockchain or to find the hash for the blockchain, they must first grab the blockchain itself. What they do is they go to the node first, whichever one is physically closer to them, depending on where they are located, and then they go from the node to the blockchain to build upon it, to search for that hash. And I'll explain what a hash is here. So let's give a hash. I'll make it 6 characters long. That will be our hash for the first block here. And the second one, let's make it 3, 4, I don't know, Q 12B. Alright, so I have a hash for each of these blocks. And now, what determines the block's hash is, you see right here, in the first one, 1, 2. And the second one's 3, 4. 5, 6, and 7, 8. Now each block has a part of its hash that resembles the previous block. The 4 other letters or numbers are determined by what is actually in the block itself. Now, this is just completely oversimplified. It is actually much more complicated than this. The actual numbers and letters, the hash, is much, much longer. But this is just an example here to show y'all. The reason it has a part of the hash that is part of the previous block is so that it knows where on the blockchain it belongs. Let's say, I'll make an example of how it works with other people in the crypto community. So let's say Red Panda Mining, RPM. Now this is another person in the crypto community. He sends, let's let this be chump change, and then let's let him send him 1 Bitcoin. And there's the transaction right there. Red Panda Mining sent chump change 1 Bitcoin. Now once that block hash has been found and certified by multiple miners, then it'll be certified on the blockchain. It'll be done. That's at that point. That's what has happened. And then the nodes, they record it. So it was like, oh, they've recorded it. That's what just happened. Then let's say chump change here, CCXD, sends Bitcoin to Seb. And what he sends is 0.5 BTC. But let's say he was trying to do something else. Let's say he was going to try and send 1.5 BTC, even though he has 1. He only has 1. He wouldn't be able to do that because the ledger already says that he only has 1. So he can't. That's going to get rejected from the blockchain. So he can only send that 0.5 or 1 if he wanted to. But let's say he sends 0.5 to Seb. Now let's say Seb here wanted to try and do something that wasn't good. So what if Seb tries to send 0.5 BTC to RPM twice? So what will happen is that the nodes are recording the transactions here. They're recording the blockchain. Let's say this transaction gets verified on that node, but let's say this one gets verified on that one. Which one is legitimate? Well, it's simple. Whichever one gets verified first by the hash. So once the hash is found, and I told you everything is in the blockchain is determined by what's inside the block and what's inside its previous block. Whichever one is recorded first by the node and confirmed by the hash is the one that gets certified. So let's say this one here was the one that got certified. So this transaction is invalid. And boom, that's our problem solved. Then the blockchain is fixed and the node goes, oh, that's not there anymore. That's how that problem is solved.
One last thing, when you make a transaction on the network, you have to add a little bit more crypto in that transaction to pay for the fee. What happens with the fee is that a portion of that is kicked back to the miners, and that's why cryptocurrency mining is such a big thing. It's a business endeavor that a lot of people are into, like me. That's all for this video. Again, this video was really oversimplified on how it actually works. This is just supposed to give you an understanding on the basics of it. Thanks for watching. Bye.